Hello fellow anime lovers, in today's video we're counting down the top anime where main character goes to all girls school. If you are new to this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button for more anime content like this. So without further ado, let's get started. An exoskeleton weapon engineered by Japan, Infinite STRATOS, can be piloted only by women. Its power and combat prowess are so immense that an international treaty has been signed banning its use as a military asset. When it is discovered that 15-year-old Ichika Orimura is the only male capable of steering he is forcibly enrolled in the Infinite STRATOS Academy, an all-female boarding school, the students of which graduate to become his pilots. At this training school, Ichika is reunited with two of his childhood friends, Haoki Shinano and Linjun Huang, and befriends Cecilia Alcott, and his representative from the United Kingdom. Guided by the legendary pilot Shifayu Orimura, their strict homeroom teacher and Ichika's older sister, Ichika and the girls will need to use everything at their disposal to defend themselves and their academy against the dangers that will arise during the course of their thrilling school life. On his way to Araishiya Spirit Academy, Kamito Kazuhaya runs into a naked Claire Rouge, a student who had been bathing as part of a purification ceremony. She had been preparing to form a contract with a powerful spirit in order to acquire more power as an elementalist. Her efforts are wasted, however, when Kamito ends up with the spirit despite the fact that only shrine maidens can become elementalists. Yet to be discouraged, Claire then announces that Kamito must become her contracted spirit instead. After reaching the school grounds, Kamito escapes from Claire and meets Headmaster Greyworth Seal Mace, who invites him to enroll at the academy. Although his life at Araishiya will be far from easy as the only male student among the shrine princesses in training, he begrudgingly accepts in exchange for information about his former contracted spirit, Ristia Ashtal. Adding on to that, he also must fulfill Greyworth's main request to win in the Blade Dance, a battle festival occurring in 2 months, where he will face the strongest elementalist rumored to be contracted with the darkness spirit. Hida Kazuna possesses the HHG, Heart Hybrid Gear, ability, but it is not strong enough to make him particularly important. His older sister calls him to transfer to a strategic defense school, where many of the students, many of which are large-breasted girls, use their HHG abilities to fight invaders from another world while wearing extremely skimpy pilot outfits. Kazuna's fighting ability doesn't measure up, but his sister has another plan. Apparently having erotic experiences with Kazuna will allow the girls to replenish their energy or power up. It looks like his new school life is going to be full of embarrassment. Midgar, all-girl academy, would have been notable just for the action of accepting its first and only male student, Yu Mononobe. But Midgar stands out for much more than that. It's a school exclusive to a group of girls known as Ds. Each of them have extremely powerful abilities in generating dark matter and manipulating it into powerful weaponry. The Ds didn't exist 25 years ago and only appeared after a number of mysterious, destructive monsters known as dragons started appearing around the world. Strangely, just as suddenly as they appeared, they vanished. In their destructive wake, some girls started being born with symbols on their bodies and powers similar in nature to those wielded by the dragons themselves. Now the Ds attend this school, hoping to harness and utilize their powers against the dragons. Yu is their latest member and is extraordinary for being the only known male D in existence. Now he must forge relationships with the girls around him, including his long-separated sister who attends the school as well, and work with them to investigate and eliminate the threat of the powerful dragons. Decades into the future, humanity is under siege by an alien race known as the Novas. These inhuman beings leave devastation in their wake whenever they appear, with the efforts to stave them off becoming known as Nova Clashes. Young women known as Pandoras and young men known as Limiters are implanted with stigmata to give them superhuman powers and are trained in military academies, where they must learn to work together if humanity is to have a chance of surviving. Freezing tells the story of Kazuya Ali as he sets out for his first day at the West Genetics Military Academy, right when a battle royale is being undertaken by the Pandoras. It is here that he mistakes Satellizor El Bridget, a powerful Pandora known as the Untouchable Queen, as his deceased sister, and embraces her. Though he costs her the match, she finds that his touch doesn't drive her away and decides to take him as her limiter. The only question is whether or not their partnership can survive the machinations of their upperclassmen and the impending battle with the novas. When boys suddenly get into places where they've never been allowed before, some girls tend to get upset. So when the decision is made to merge the elite Yuham Girls Private Academy and the coeducational Kagamadai Private Academy, everyone wants to take extra care in avoiding trouble while bringing the two privates together. Therefore, rather than just bringing the Kagamadai boys into the Yuham Girls School all at once, a plan is concocted in which a group of test males will be inserted into the Girls Private Academy first. Thus, poor young Shingo finds himself being thrown as a sacrificial lamb to the lionesses of Yuham, who aren't exactly waiting for him with open arms. Will Shingo manage to survive the estrogen-soaked death pit that is Yuham? Can the girls learn to be more receptive to the boys? And just how long until something involving panties will cause emotions to flare, sparks to fly and the battle of the sexes to explode? The private Aichi Symbiosis Academy was originally a high school for high-class girls. When it became co-ed, the girls, out of fear, asked to be permitted to bring weapons to school. When that was enforced, a 5-member vigilante corps-like organization called the Supreme Five Swords was also formed. After many generations, the Five Swords eventually became a group which corrected problematic students, and the academy started proactively accepting such students in order to correct them. Nomura Fuju was sent to this school after being part of a huge brawl. What will he do when the only options he has after enrolling are being expelled from that school or being corrected the way the rest of the male students there were by being forced to dress and act like a girl? Lux, a former prince of an empire named Arcadia that was overthrown via a rebellion 5 years earlier, accidentally trespasses in a female dormitory's bathing area, sees the kingdom's new princess Lysishirt naked, incurring her wrath. Lysishirt then challenges Lux to a drag ride duel. Drag rides are ancient armored mechanical weapons that have been excavated from ruins all around the world. Lux used to be called the strongest drag knight, but now he's known as the undefeated weakest drag knight because he will absolutely not attack in battle. After his duel with Lysishirt, Lux ends up attending the female-only academy that trains royals to be drag knights. In order to investigate the phenomenon, Lilith Asami appears before Arata, whose artificial world suddenly disintegrates. He is given two choices: hand over the book or die. However, Arata chooses the third option, enrolling in the top-secret magic school Royal Biblia Academy, where 6 other magical users await him. Together with Lilith, these 6 form the Trinity 7, the elite of the school who each bolster their own power and skill. With the ambition to save Hijiri and the help of his newfound friends, Arata stops at nothing to prevent the destruction of his beloved hometown and to bring his best friend back. In a hidden school surrounded by mountains, young ladies of good families are taught everything a high-class lady needs to know. They are also completely cut off from the outside world, keeping them sheltered and innocent. However, a problem has come up recently. More and more graduates are failing to cope with the modern world after graduation. To deal with this problem, they've decided to kidnap a male commoner student and enroll him as a student. They hope that this will be a gentle way to introduce the girls to the outside world. Kagurazaka Kamito is chosen for this dubious honor, mostly because he seems utterly average. However, the school leaders also seem to have concluded he's a homosexual with a muscle fetish. When Kamito hears that the alternative may be castration to protect the girl's purity, he eagerly plays along with this misconception. Now he'll just have to survive the attention of many high-class young ladies that are completely out of touch with the world.